On November 11th, 2025, Nintendo surprised me by doing the seemingly unthinkable. They did an auto-lock toggle, something I never thought would happen.
Wow, I need a minute to think about this.
In practice, though, there's some issues. Before getting into the bad, let's highlight some of the good. So, in case you don't remember, throw lock, that annoying thing where if you were locked onto something and you were throwing more than the minimum amount of Pikmin on an object, the game would just block you from doing so. Yeah, when auto lock is disabled, that is gone, which is really good. Granted, that's probably because throw lock itself is tied to auto lock, so take one out, take out the other, but still, massive improvement. Gyro has apparently received some moderate responsive improvements. Of course, the major improvement is still not there, but we'll get to that. Now for the bad. For starters, Nintendo, what the hell is this? Why does the cursor stop moving whenever you press A? Not even hold A, just press A to throw with auto lock off, and you can move around and the cursor is just staying there. Why? Why? Did you guys think that when we said we didn't want auto target lock forced onto us, we meant we just didn't want the lock on part? No, we just didn't want any alterations to the cursor whatsoever against our will. This is bogus. I'm not gonna pretend like having the ability to disable auto lock in and of itself isn't a massive game changer. I mean, at least it shows that Nintendo is actually listening to some of the major critiques of Pikmin 4, but to see stuff like this, it kinda just makes it feel a bit worrying exactly what they think the problem is. And also, it just reveals some other major problems about Pikmin 4's controls that may have not been noticeable to some, but I noticed. Like, Pikmin in Pikmin 4 are magnetized to the cursor. Not like momentum throwing from the GameCube versions of Pikmin 1 and 2. I mean like they are literally magnetized to the cursor wherever you throw them, and you can literally rubber band them back. And now with this new auto lock toggle, you can clearly notice that. Look at this footage. This is not natural throwing. It's just, why? Is this to make it look more natural? Because it really doesn't. Just look at the footage here. It's not a total, it almost seems like it's not even a total toggle. Like, it just seems like it's barely a toggle. The auto lock toggle is really, it's full of monkey's paws. But I can't say I'm totally surprised. For 2 years I was ruminating on a script about all the failures of Pikmin 4's controls. For 2 years I was sitting there marinating in stewed feelings of anger. For 2 years I was upset that a game I had been waiting so long for was in such a terrible state. And I thought it was going to be this way till the end of time. I still plan on making that video, of course, but one thing that video would cover is that auto-lock is not the biggest issue with Pikmin 4's control scheme, at least on the surface. It's easy to blame everything on the cursor, but it's not just that. In fact, I honestly think it got a little bit too much undeserved hate. Like, yes, auto-lock itself sucked. Forcing a mandatory lock-on that had many issues was a bad idea, but in concept, what Autolock was trying to do wasn't all that bad. What Autolock was trying to do was to replicate the freedom that decoupled aiming brought to the Pikmin series. With the Wii versions of Pikmin 1 and 2, the Wii Remote control scheme in Pikmin 3, and the gyro pointer option in Pikmin 3 Deluxe. Now, in practice, it didn't really hit that mark, judging by, all the complaints, but I can see what they were going for. But what baffles me is that there was no actual gyro pointer option, and that was also something that applied to the Switch ports of Pikmin 1 and 2. If you don't know, the motion controls in Pikmin 4 and Pikmin 1 and 2 on Switch are this weird half-step hybrid where it's mostly stick aiming, but you can hold A or B to get a little bit more range with gyro controls, but it's really not the same as the total fluid freedom pointer provided. For one, the stick takes priority, so you can't even really say it's truly decoupled aiming, because the second you move the stick, the gyro basically takes a back seat. Secondly, the speed advantages of pointer are really not a thing here because, well, since it's beholden to stick and since gyro's limited and slower, that means that you don't really have the same kind of reactive speed that you would with pointer. Like, strafing is not really a thing anymore, which is a major blow, and also you can't really do reactive timing, like, oh, say an enemy pops up, bam, you can instantly have the cursor near it before it even finished popping out of the ground. That was a major benefit of pointer, and with this half step thing, it's just not really there. Also, you can forget about the fluidity of being able to easily throw and swap to whistling and throw and swap to whistling with pointer. That's just not a thing anymore, because the second you start to whistle, bam, gyro resets, it's back in control of the stick, bam, you gotta restart the whole gyro cycle all over again. It's just such a downgrade, man. Pointer was basically a complete and utter game changer for Pikmin controls. You have complete and utter control of your aiming. You can aim independently of movement, which is such a big deal for Pikmin. It's something you really have to feel. It's something you can even see. You can see the fluidity of movement with the Wiimote pointer's cursor versus stiffness of stick aiming. And it was just such a game changer. It's been a lot of people, including mine, very preferred way to play Pikmin. And even Pikmin 3 Deluxe had an option for that if you wanted to use it. And sure, there may have been a little bit of drift at times, but you could always alleviate that with the gyro reset button they gave you and barely told you about. Pikmin 4 and Pikmin 1 and 2 Switch not having it is a real bummer, especially because that was honestly one of the only blind spots with the control scheme, and it would improve so many things if we could just have all the niceties that pointer offered, like infinite whistle, extra range, complete smooth as butter aiming. Yes, it would need a reset button on like R, and it wouldn't allow two-way swapping, but I think that's a worthwhile trade-off for just how much better pointer feels. Just look at these clips. It's just a night and day difference, and I really just want people to be able to have the option to play however they want, especially for the newest Pikmin game, because unlike Pikmin 1 and 2 and 3, there is no pointer option in 4. You only have the half step. Plus, it's not like the controls patch and any of the controls issues with 4 are suddenly fixed, because there's still a bunch. The auto lock toggling needs more tweaks to make it fully featured. Stick needs to not just be borked, like that tapping A thing, that is just, we need to get rid of that. I think in general, this could really use some improvement. So like, here's just two things that would make Pikmin 4's controls pretty tolerable, pretty good even. One, a full gyro pointer option like Pikmin 3 Deluxe, complete with a reset button, preferably on the right shoulder button, that has all the niceties, so like infinite whistle, the range, the speed, like full gyro speed that correctly tracks with your hand. And it can be an option. You don't have to like force it. You can just have it be an option if people want to play with pointer style controls, because I think it's just a big misstep, that pointer style controls. And two, improve the auto lock toggle just a bit more. You turn auto lock off and it's just no frills stick aiming. It can bring the kind of stick aiming that people liked in like the GameCube versions of Pikmin 1 and 2 and, you know, Pikmin 3 Deluxe. So I really want people to keep asking Nintendo, really want people to keep pointing it out that no, it's not done. This still needs more work. It needs a full gyro pointer option. It needs a complete auto lock toggle. It just needs the little issues to be smoothed out. And I'm hopeful that at least this sets a precedent that, yeah, they can listen and we can get a first step to a better controlling game, but it's still just the first step. We need to keep making sure that they know that it's still not done, like it still needs improvement. So just like keep asking, get their attention somehow, just do something, please. Hashtag anything. Like, this can't just end, like, it can't just be left in this state for the rest of the time. Because controls really do matter. I mean, they are how you engage with the game, and having a game that doesn't control the best it could can often leave the experience leaving a lot to be desired. And I think it's something that really needs to be paid more attention to, especially for games that can be as complex as Pikmin, since, you know, it's a RTS on a console, which is not an easy feat to achieve. It's also just accessibility in general. Having options that allow anyone to play the way that they truly want to play, the way that's truly best for them. It needs to be the best it can possibly be for any Pikmin fan, for this game that people have been waiting for so long, that it could just be the best version of itself.